Hey guys, and welcome back to our White Tigers Rising series here with the Truro City Football Club. We are back here in early February. Um, Not in a bad place overall. So we're sitting 11th on 40 points. So they tell you 50 is good for safety, more or less in League One, and looking kind of historically, that's about right. So we're not real far away from saying we're declaring safety. We're 7 points clear of Doncaster in 21st, so I'm feeling like we're in decent shape on that front. We're also 7 points back from Bury in the playoff spot, so I don't think that's anywhere we want or we are going to be or want to be, which is fine. I think that's perfectly acceptable for us to not be in that particular neck of the woods. So kind of hovering in the 12th, seeing if we can kind of push up a little bit. To me is really not not a bad aim to finish this particular season off. As you can see, we have the second best offense in the league and the 10th best defense. So I'm proud that we still have a really solid defense, and I'm glad that we're really figuring out how to score goals. Craig Furness is our top goal scorer and highest average rating. Zach Durnley is just an assist machine. So just a quick jump into the squad here. So Furness got 20 goals and then a smattering around in the rest of the places. So he's really generating a fair amount of the offense. As you can see, we took a bit of a hit so far this month. We've had some injury issues, which isn't really ideal, but we're sort of soldiering through. Durnley, Holmes, and Furness are our assist men. Jack Dunn still playing pretty well in there. And then our highest average rating, Craig Furness, is really the man. And I got to see if I can figure out how to get him either back on loan or what, because he's just slotting into this system absolutely perfectly. Callum Robinson is doing well, and he's starting to come into his own, so I think he will be a really good player for us in the system, but we'll have to kind of see how it all goes. So that's it for the intro, guys, and I'll see you in the highlights. Okay, guys, so the first game of the episode here is against Bradford City, where earlier in the season was site of our first victory in League One and just an absolute beating that we laid on them in their stadium. So coming back, I felt pretty comfortable that this should be a winnable game, given that we beat them, I think 6 or 7-0 on the road. So overall, this was it should have been a good game for us, and it actually panned out to be a very good game for us in this one. So even shots-wise, on target, kind of that whole neighborhood was relatively even. We did dominate possession of it. We were just a lot more efficient. George Willis had a good game in net, which helped. But overall, it was an efficient performance in front of net for us. So Craig Furness gets it all started in the 16th minute. Open play, so Durnley is linking up very nicely with him. Just finds him at that near post, but there's 3 options right there to head it in. So the tactic is creating a lot of options. So if Furness missed it, there were still 2 men behind him that were capable of putting the ball away. Then the game was relatively quiet till late, and then Furness comes back out again. Cameron filling in here for us at left back. Dunn just finds him behind, so even though there's 3 guys in front sort of marking him, finds him a little bit of space, allows him to drift back, get a clean look at net, and he buries it around the goalkeeper. And then Dunn decides in the 91st minute, you know what the hell, Durnley just skins his man right there, slides it right across. Again, there's 2 guys right there, so we have plenty of people in the box for those crosses. We're using the width to stretch out the opposition defense. We're putting ourselves in really good positions to score. So I'm really pleased to see that. So that was it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next highlight. Okay, guys, so this was at old League 2 nemesis Northampton at the Sixfield Stadium. And unfortunately, we fell 1-0. I'm really annoyed by this one because we just couldn't put one away. This goes a little bit to, we're getting guys in the right opportunities, but the finishing isn't quite so clinical across the board on it. So, and it's leading me to think, I'm really happy with Durnley. I'm thinking Ben Holmes is the guy that we may look at a left wing in the summer, to kind of introduce a new dynamic to the club. On this one, we had a lot of shots, we had some decent crosses, we put some stuff on target, and we just couldn't make anything happen. So Jamie Thomas in the 21st minute for Northampton. And unfortunately, brain fart from our center backs here because Finley was out. We're suffering suspensions in that. Burns his man, gets in there, and that's all for this particular game's scoring. So disappointing, all things considered. So that's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next highlight. Okay, guys, so we're here for the Doncaster Rovers game back at Bricklin Park, and on the face of it, we walked out of here with all 3 points, and not bad performances across the board, but in reality, we should be beating a team like this by a much bigger margin at this point. I think we've successfully established ourselves as a decent mid-table side. So a team in the relegation place, we should be beating a lot more comfortably than an 87th minute goal on this one. So we shot a lot. I'm still getting used to exactly how to play the tempo adjustment to the team to kind of dial back random shots to shots on target for it. So I think I made the adjustment a little late. Obviously, it paid off, but it came in a little bit too late. So Jack Dunn here in the 86th from open play. Again, we find nice and wide. Durnley's able to get himself a look. Dunn's making a beautiful run right off the shoulder on the offside trap, and boom, just blasts that in the back of the net. There's nothing anybody's doing. So we end up getting out of this one with all 3 points, which is important. But like I said, I think this one's on me in terms of disappointment and really being able to effectively manage the tempo of the game and how we're playing that tempo in there. So that's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next highlight. Okay, guys, so this was the road game against the Wycombe Wanderers, the site of that crazy 4-4 game earlier in the season with the red cards and things just kind of going sideways that we salvaged the draw. So I wasn't entirely sure what I would expect out of this game, although based on just table position, this should have been a winnable game. And this was more the result I would have hoped for against Doncaster. So we ended up making some other adjustments in this one. Although we got most of our scoring done early, we continued to shoot from afar, but not terrible efficiency. 3 goals out of 7 shots on target. In that, a little bit more balanced, so we were countering a little bit more in this game. So Callum Robinson, in the 9th minute, gets us started off. Good to see him with a 2-goal performance, because that's really what we're looking for. Just a nice interception from Diallo. He's threading in very nicely to the club. Robinson, when you give him that little bit of space, is starting to become a lot more efficient. So I'm really happy with what he's starting to produce with the club. I think he and Dunn could be a good partnership by themselves, but it's hard to ignore Furness and say, yeah, we want to get rid of him. So here he is putting his game in the score sheets on this one. So we're at just space, and that's the nice part is if our guys are getting space, they're burying them, and that's his 20th goal of the season here in this one. So Robinson again, 36 minute. Furness gets himself deep, finds Durnley, and I think it was the right back was just lagging, which kept him onside. Just found him in the right place. Unfortunately, we let Katawambe pull one back for them late. This is, again, that sort of late goal thing that ticks me off, that we're just not super solid at the back. He gets a little cross in over, and it's a cheeky header right around there. But overall, I think it was a really commanding win for us, showing off that we have some prowess and some chops on the road, so we're a dangerous away team. Even though we're a newly promoted side, we're not going to get walked on. So that's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you for the feature game. Okay, guys, so this was the last crack of this season at Plymouth Argyle, and unfortunately, we we just couldn't beat them. So our nemesis still has the better of us. 8 seasons in, we just struggle to beat these guys. And it was a late goal. We started throwing the kitchen sink at them late. It was a pretty even game. I felt like getting out of here with a point would have been a good result. They are better than us. They're sort of knocking on the table of the promotion playoff spots at this point. Just super disappointed with this one. So we'll go in and watch the extended highlights of this one. I felt like we could have done better with this, but these guys seem to have our number. I don't understand why, but they just seem to have our number. Big looping headers there. Sharp has an open net at the start of it, but he just can't put any power behind the header there. Misplay on our part there, so we're struggling to kind of get ourselves out. We should be getting close to getting back to our... Robinson just doesn't have the strength there. We're struggling to kind of get back to our full back four. There they are getting out in front. Fortunately for us, thankfully, Willis is in the right place on this little mayhem. That's one of those follow the ball type things, and just sheer dumb luck keeps them off the score sheet there. If I could figure out how to take the strength of Freddie Tracy and put it into the rest of what Callum Robinson is offering us, I think we would have sort of the perfect striker for us. Because Freddie was good at muscling Holmes just without the wheels to get in front there. Playing in front of the Treyu end here. Unfortunately, can't do much with the corner, even though the crowd is back there. Harley Black not able to convert the free kick, even though the crowd's cheering for him. I like what Robinson brings in terms of, he gets a little space and he's able to put them away, because we do create those opportunities now that he's sort of back off of being injured. But on those 50-50 balls where the strength really makes a difference, Freddie was able to really kind of muscle his way through a center back to do that, and Robinson really isn't able to do that. Second perfect tackle right there on that one. So, Perry gets there, and he had a really good look and probably should have done better with it. So, missed opportunity for them. By all accounts, they've had a couple of better opportunities than we really have. They had 5 clear-cut chances in this game, so we probably did get lucky to get out of this with only 1 goal against us. Too many fouls there from Sharp. He earns himself a card. But we weren't terrible. We created a lot of half chances, so I think on the balance, it was like 7 total chances to 6 chances. Of some real seriousness. So it was pretty even in that. We weren't quite as clear cut, but okay, fine. We're still creating them. So in that kind of a situation, you could have been more aggressive because Freddie would have gotten through. That being said, almost all the time he would have missed because that's what he does. But we would have had a shot at it, which would have been nice. On there. So just a looping nothing in there. And unfortunately, Danny Ramsey gets hurt in this one, so he is now out for a couple of weeks. But that's okay. He's much more of a backup to Zach in that sense. So it's not something I'm incredibly concerned about on that front. And like I said, Ben Holmes is really, I think, the guy that he is solid, but just a really nice save from Gillespie there on that free kick. That was probably our best opportunity, and I would have called that a clear versus a half. Again, I would have called that another good clear-cut opportunity that we just weren't able to convert there. But my problem is Holmes just doesn't have the wheels to help leverage those opportunities and clean some of that stuff up. That he just isn't able to put the speed down. He isn't burning his man, so we're not quite as dangerous on both wings. Durnley has shown time and time again he can skin his man and kind of go there. So solid defense. I'm really happy with the contribution that the midfielders are making. Diallo has fit in really well into the club as that sort of ball-winning defender. And if we need to apply more supporting pressure, he plays a box-to-box position very well, or the box-to-box role in that position very well. So it gives us some opportunity to kind of change the dynamic in the midfield. So I'm really quite happy, and awful miss on their part there. So I'm really kind of quite happy with how he's plugging into things here. He'll need some more time to bed in, and I think I'd like Robson back. We'll have to kind of see what he does for next year. We may go out and look. The other thing that we may do is look for a real roaming playmaker type, but I may actually skip. I may skip a lot of that and just take a look at eating up some of my extra money on youngsters, on potentially championship level youngsters that we can kind of flood into the 18 and 21-year-olds squad, so that we can start to, it's been coming, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm looking at trying to slot some youngsters into that we can start to develop, so that in a few years, when we're really starting to be in the championship to the Premier League level, they should start to come to fruition into the club on that. So we'll have to. I think that's where I'm planning on spending my my time, effort, and money. Robinson puts it on frame and ends to win the corner. He was kind of open, so disappointed that he didn't bury that one, to be honest. The offside trap is good there. It freezes. You can see it froze their striker, which is what we want. Done with a decent look and forces the keeper to try and make something out of it, but turns out he's just wide at the end of the day. Robinson again just gets tackled at the last second, but okay, that's just really good defending. I'm not going to fault him for that. That's just really good defending. Not super happy with my corner tactic. Diallo gets a good shot, but Robinson is unfortunately offside, which is disappointing because that was a beautiful opportunity and work there. That's really what you want to see from the squad. So Holmes actually does finally skin a guy. Robinson gets it, but Gillespie just manages to get his hands on it. De Havilland shuts down that one pretty quickly, and we are off and moving. But here you go. Like, that's a problem. Holmes works himself into a situation where the whole inertia of the counterattack has to stop because he's not quick enough or fast enough or skilled enough to get around his man. So he's going to look for an outlet pass, which is fine. We're not giving up possession, but the whole again, offside from Durley there. The whole dynamic of our transition play is really sort of damaged because he can't just burn past the guy with the pure speed. So that's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the wrap-up. Okay, guys, so back here for our wrap-up. We're going to have another interesting few games in this episode. So we have Leyton Orient, which is a game we ought to be winning. We're going to go run up against the McDons again. I'd like to pull a little revenge at home. Coventry is going to be a toughie. We battled them pretty hard earlier in the season. So I'd like to see where that goes. Blackpool, again, is going to be another difficult one, but that's a squad around us, so we should be playing them tough. And the final one is Peterborough United, and that's a game that we ought to be winning. So a couple of definitely winnable games, a couple where they could be hit or miss, and one very difficult game. So 7 points is a good month in this one. Anything better than that, I think, is going to be a real extraordinary month on that. So. And then what we'll do, I think, is we'll look to split the next. So we'll only do 2 more episodes after the next one here. So 3 episodes remaining in this season. I'll probably aim for the Crew and then Oldham one. So the last 2 episodes will be a little longer. But I'd rather do that than give you a chintzy short, like 2-game or 3-game episode to close this one out. So that's it for this episode, guys. Remember, please leave a like on the video if you haven't already. If you like the series and that, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us to help kind of grow the channel and the network, the Football Manager Central sort of network on this one. So it does mean a lot. So please smash that subscribe button. If you haven't checked it out, check out Paul's Creating a Legacy series. He's doing some awesome awesome things with FC United of Manchester. He's got some really, really great episodes coming up, so please check that one out. And if you need to catch up on the White Tigers, the playlist is there. Feel free to please check those out as well. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye now.